Computer networks is one of the most difficult sections to prepare for the FE Electrical and Computer exam. In this video, I'll take a stepwise approach and explain you why that is the case. And we'll also provide you with a methodology to approach computer networks. This is a unique section in many ways. The first reason why computer networks is so challenging is because the effort to reward ratio for computer networks is completely off scale. It is one of the lightest topics on the exam. According to the exam specification, you can expect only 4 to 6 questions on computer networks. But the issue is that when you look at that reference handbook, there is roughly 16 to 18 pages of content for computer networks. If you compare this to digital systems, which is one of the big 5 topics, you can expect 8 to 12 questions from digital systems. And the number of pages in the reference handbook for digital systems is just 2. So for 4 to 6 questions in computer networks, you are provided roughly 16 to 18 pages of reference material. And for 8 to 12 questions from digital systems, you're provided just 2 pages of reference material. Now, I understand that the number of pages that are provided in the reference handbook is not necessarily of the amount of effort that you have to put in to prepare for that topic, but it is still a good approximation. Because if the reference handbook is talking about, let's say, IPv4, IPv6, and goes in a lot of detail for these protocols, the common sense approach for you would be to actually make an effort to understand at least some of the basics. But the issue is that if we go about taking that approach, which actually I do in my program, then you have to put in a lot of time and effort to prepare for computer networks. And that's when some of the students start asking me questions about, Wasim, is it really worth it? And I give my same response, that taking a selective approach in terms of your exam preparation and skipping content is a very, very risky proposition. So what I've done in my FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation program is that I have 20 plus lectures which basically give you a crash course on computer networking. I do recognize that the effort to reward ratio is off, but I would rather have the students over prepare for this section than under prepare, because sometimes the margin on the exam can be razor thin, and maybe a question or two can make the whole difference between you passing or failing. If you're a power systems engineer, chances are that in your undergraduate engineering coursework, computer networks was possibly an elective, an optional course to take. And I have a lot of students who go through my program and tell me that, Wasim, I actually never took computer networks in my undergraduate studies, which tells me 2 things. A, they don't find computer networks interesting, and that's why they probably skipped it in their undergraduate. And B, they have to work even harder. Because of the combination of these reasons, students find computer networks challenging. But I advise my students not to skip it. Make sure they utilize whatever resources they have access to, whether they're using my on-demand course, live training, or just a study guide, or even if they're self-studying. Skipping any section or any topic during your exam preparation can significantly increase the chances of you failing the exam. I hope that after going through this content, you have a better understanding of how to deal with computer networks in the context of FE Electrical and Computer exam, even if you do not have a solid background in computer networking. If you have any questions or comments about computer networks or FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation in general, feel free to drop them in the comment section of this video. Feel free to check out my FE Electrical and P Power programs at studyforfe.com.